God damn it. I left after that night. Attaboy. Attaboy. It's really frustrating to see women domestically abuse men because of the amount of options there is for men. The amount of options there is for men to deal with that, and the amount that they are not taken seriously is pretty unfortunate. It was like the story, and I'll give you guys examples like why I don't go out, but why I'm always capable of being in a violent situation. And I'll be honest with you guys, even though I say something like that, like capable of being in a violent situation without being uncomfortable, I'll be honest with you guys. The last time I was even in a physical altercation, I was literally breaking up a fight between my friend and somebody else, and I got hit. I literally haven't actually struck somebody in maybe 23, 24 years. I just haven't had to. There's just no reason. There's no reason for it. Could I have during certain situations? Was it warranted in some? Sure, probably. But like getting in a physical altercation, one thing people don't realize, you can get in a physical altercation that could just literally drastically change the outlook or the course of your life forever. I don't think people realize how often somebody gets hit and hits their head and literally dies. What's wrong, buddy? You want the phone? This is the reason I don't go to bars and stuff, meeting. Oh, okay. Stupid thing as an adult. Stupidest thing as an adult. The stupidest thing as an adult was easily traumatic brain injuries. Yeah, that people don't realize, you know, people with egos or people with insert whatever reasoning they have for getting in a physical altercation. Like, it could end your life. You could end somebody else's life with just a simple punch. You could end your life. You could go to prison for the rest of your life just from one punch, one incident. It's stupid. It's dumb. There's no reason for it. If you got to protect your family, your friends from any serious injury, you're goddamn right. You better be able to and be comfortable with it. Well, maybe not comfortable. Maybe comfortable is not the right word. You better be capable of the violence needed to ensure that you are safe and your family or friends are safe, right? From being, like, seriously hurt. But you have to figure out how to ensure that never has to happen. You have to have the integrity, the morality, whatever terminology you want to use. Whatever it is. Dumbest thing I did as an adult was definitely so when I moved to Florida, I moved to Florida to go to college because I figured that'd be a cool idea. I've lived in New York, upstate New York, my entire life. I was like, yo, it'd be cool. I applied to get into somewhere in Florida. Long story short, I got into the University of West Florida. I started going there. I was living with my mom. My mom had some stuff come up. She had to move away, so I had to get my own place. I couldn't really afford my own place, but I was working at Walmart, and I had a bunch of friends there. And all of a sudden, we were just like, what if we just all, like, looked for a house and just went in on a house together, and we just lived and hung out, and we just lived and hung out, etc., etc. What if we just, like, lived together, hung out? We got, like, and this was back in the day, so this was pretty cheap for back in the day. We got, like, a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. Oh, I thought I caught. I moved it to the right a little bit because I knew he wasn't going to stand still, obviously. And we got a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. And I made the decision to put my name on everything. And only my name. My name was the water. My name was the electricity. My name was the internet. My name was the Time Warner bill, or whatever, Cox down there, whatever it is. My name was on everything. And after about 8 to 12 months, and some people ended up not having jobs, some people did, we swapped out roommates, all this stuff to try and make it work. I was left having to use my credit card over and over just to survive. And it put me in about $15,000 to $20,000 in debt from my friends there at the time not taking care of their portions of the bills and then also not paying me back because my name was on everything. So my credit got screwed at a super young age. I ended up in like $20,000 in debt. I had to move back home because I couldn't afford to live there anymore, and blah, 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 blah. That was easily the dumbest thing I've done as an adult. No, I have not talked to many of those people. One ended up dying from drug overdose. One I stayed in contact with a little bit because he reached out at one point and told me how sorry he was for what he did. You know, we were all young and he was scared and in a bad position. He should have just done, you know, something like, you know, like a man and just, or like an adult, whatever you want to say, and just told me, you know, like, hey man, I gotta go. This isn't a good living situation. And I would have just been like, yo, that's fine. That's understandable. But yeah, no. One person reached out. We mended things. I forgave him. Student debt, yes. So here's the annoying thing about the student loan debt that I had accrued. I had only accrued about $5,000 in charges because I only went for about a semester before everything kind of blew up, right? So I went for about a semester, cost me about $5,000, but I was getting Pell Grants, which, if you guys don't know what grants are, grants you don't have to pay back, loans you do. So I was on a situation where I didn't have to pay any of these back, which is great. So, you know, my parents didn't make enough, whatever. So I was getting grants, which was great. I had to pull out of the classes because my mom moved away and I could not afford to go to college and work full-time and afford the place I was living in. Even then I couldn't really afford it. And my college reached out and they're like, well, since you failed the classes, I was like, I didn't fail the classes, I withdrew from the classes. Well, they're like, well, withdrawing from it kind of means you failed. And since you didn't sign up for any new classes, those grants become ineligible and you have to pay us the $5,000. Now I'm like, you're telling me I have to pay for $5,000 of classes that I did not go to? And the other option was keep going to the classes, which I could not do. And so I have to pay for classes I did not go to. And they're like pretty much like, yeah. And I was like, lol. So yeah, so that was easily the dumbest thing I did as an adult. But the reason that I don't go to bars, the reason that I never do that is because I have to be around people that I don't know, that are drunk, who I don't trust, and who are always just in some... dudes in a bar is easily one of the dumbest groups of people I think I've easily ever been a part of, right? I don't mind going, like, anytime me and my friends used to drink, we used to go to this, like, Legion that was right by my house. And because I'm a son of the American Legion, because my dad was in, my grandpa was in, and blah, blah, blah. So we'd be able to get in, and there would only be, like, 6 people there, right? So it's like, that's fine. The amount of times that, like, we'd go to an after party after football, after our football games to celebrate or whatever. And the amount of times that, like, dudes would just create an issue just for the purpose of trying to get in in an engagement. And the amount of times that somebody would, like, come up just to establish dominance or whatever it may be. Just to establish dominance or whatever it may be, they'd, like, come up and be like, Maria would literally be walking around hooked to my fucking arm, bro. And people would still come up and be like, hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink? And I'd be like, she's all right, man. you know, we're good, appreciate that, and I would even address him like, you know, like in like a respectful manner. I would just be like, hey, you know, I know you see this, I know you're trying to be disrespectful to engage in some weird nonsense, but like, yeah, we're good, brother. And he'd just be like, was I talking to you? And I'd be like, I mean, I'm talking to you, so he's like, oh, you want to sell this outside? But luckily, the bar owner was literally the head coach of our semi-pro team, so I was just like, can you get this fucking kid out of here? And he'd be like, yeah, of course, get out. So that was always a good situation. Always a good situation to be in, like having that as an opportunity. But like, it's why I don't go to bars. Guessing you wouldn't have joined a frat? No. Nothing against frats. I think some frats, when ran properly, can really. Some frats, when ran properly, can give people a sense of purpose throughout college, teach them some stuff that's probably beneficial to becoming an adult. But overall, I feel like most of those are toxic situations, and at no point am I going to be treated like a lesser individual just because of like some fucking the way some frat works. I'm saying I ain't dealing with like, oh, you have to like carry this or do this. Like, the fuck I do. I don't do well in any environment where people tell me what to do. Never have. I don't do well having bosses. I just don't do well with it. GG's. Never understood let's take this outside behavior. I can't believe I didn't kill you. It was the shield.